All right, welcome back to Morning Live. Humphrey Kayang is in studio, of course, with Lucy Chepchumba, founder of Good Kenyan. They've been doing a very good job, but I'll let them do most of the talking. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning.
Your alarm kind of beeped at 7 a.m.
Hey, that's my time to pray.
To pray. Ah, that's good. What time do you wake up, my brother?
5:30. I always like to wake up early. And
PPR.
Through training, we always wake up.
Of course.
Wake up early.
Yeah. Anyway, Good Kenyan. Lucy,
Yes.
tell us more about Good Kenyan.
So Good Kenyan is a social enterprise that Humphrey Kayanga and I formed in 2017. We did this because of our own personal experiences. We realized that after completing high school, we were very idle. Okay. There were so many things that could have gone wrong at that time. We also realized that we were privileged to have had people to guide us through some situations and conversations in life that not everyone else has.
Okay.
Particularly for me, I'd lost my mom. And I felt like there's so many other people like me who don't have that person who's very close to them that can guide them. So we thought how to do this. We could do mentorship. Humphrey has done a lot of mentorship in his life, but we wanted something structured, wanted something wholesome. And that's why we came up with the Good Kenyan program. Okay. So we created curriculums with our partners. We have 4 main pillars in our curriculums. So the first one is that we do life skills. Okay. So it's almost like a finishing school kind of thing, whereby there are several topics in life that are very important that they are not taught in school in our current curriculum. Okay. So that is, we do that at Good Kenyan. We partnered with an organization to do that. Okay. We do basic ICT classes. And mainly done practically, because most of the time you do packages, but you don't really know how to use a computer.
Absolutely.
Then thirdly, we do we teach them skills. Okay. So they make items from packaging items from recycled materials. These are gift bags, gift boxes, and these are items that we made that we know that we can sell. Okay. And then finally, the greatest pillar that we have is mentorship. Okay. So each youth who joins our program is partnered with a mentor. This is someone who is directly linked to you career-wise or life, according to the needs that we see. And the mentorship goes on beyond the program. Amazing. So our program is 4 months, but the mentorship is 1 year, 4 months. Because now after that, we feel like you're well equipped and sort of informed for you to now to make another relationship of mentorship with you. So that's in a nutshell what we do.
Amazing stuff over there. Now, Humphrey, for so many years, rugby enthusiasts in this country have been seeing you doing wonders on the pitch, and right now you're doing something amazing. So you kind of hung your boots from rugby. You're now, of course, still in rugby in terms of coaching and everything. But now, what drove you to this, the whole endeavor?
I think for me, personally, after the finishing off with the rugby, or towards the end of my rugby career, I started seeing that a lot of players coming through rugby who are younger, aspiring to be great, had the enthusiasm, had the desire, but they lacked in several other areas. So as Lucy mentioned, I did my mentorship in terms of that unstructured phase where somebody will come in, we'll have a talk about whether it's rugby, whether it's school, whether it's looking for work, and try and guide them into a direction that they discover themselves. Coming together with Lucy and I forgot to mention, come from the same village out in the Rift Valley. And we sort of going back home and sort of just having those chats around people you've gone to school with, studied, and seeing how they turned out. We figured out maybe there's a gap that we should seek to fill, so that the youth, people who just clear high school the way we did, have like some extra soft skills given to them, so that if they go to college or they go to jobs, they are better than how they left school, because we know we just leave school, you lack certain training in life skills that are not part of the curriculum. Sure. So coming into this was it was different, because it was more structured, more approach towards say mentorship. We couldn't only do mentorship alone, because that's how I came in with mentorship. She came in with entrepreneurial skills, and then now we've had to bump it up with IT and life skills, just to make it a complete package, a wholesome package to somebody who clears from Form 4,
Okay.
maybe they're waiting to go to college.
Okay.
What can you give them during that phase in terms of the gap that is there? And some of them, and for me personally, it is very touching, because you see the kids, they look up to people who are successful, myself and others, and think that it's just
kind of a
like a switch, you just switch and you get there. It takes time. Some of us have been there for a long time. It's been about 13 years of just getting my skill right. And for them, if we can, the main aim is if we can give them the skills now, for them to be better and not take 13 years. Take a bit shorter to be better at what they do is something that was close to our hearts. And just coming together, it was the fix was there, so we just had to work about logistics and a few other things just to get the program going. But
amazing.
It's been a great journey from 2017.
Amazing. Yeah. So, after high school, Lucy, there's so much confusion.
Yes.
In terms of just career decisions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Eh?
Yes.
Like from high school now, then there's something happens again. The grades come in now. That's when it's so kind of now factors the baggage comes in.
Yes.
If you're looking forward to get an A and then you have a C, goodness, or maybe a D, it's kind of now catastrophic. You don't know what next. Now, after high school, how do you manage now to now tell these guys, indeed, if you're expecting an A and then now you have a C or a D, there's something you can do. There's always that notion where when you're in school, you're told, without an A, B plus, anything, you are done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So how do you manage now to give these guys morale?
So the first thing is that what we tell them when we join our program, so how we recruit the youth to our program is we send word around. Right now we are based in Gumo. Before that we were based in Bulbul in Gong. So we tell the local leaders, local churches, our friends and family and people that we know. So we take 80% underprivileged and 20% middle class, because that's what life is.
Absolutely.
So when they come in, we have an interview process. The first thing we tell them is we do not care about what grade you got. Right now, what we're looking for someone who has the need to do something, someone who has the right attitude to do it, and someone who has some sort of talent that they can use beyond school. That's the first thing we do. So when they come in, they realize that you're not focusing on grades. Second thing, when they come in, we realize that how we've programmed our classes, they're so experiential, they're so practical. So it's not really classwork alone. And there's still some work that you do, but you're guided. And the third thing is now when we have to sit down and definitely do a career. We have this career talk, we get to know what they wanted to be, why they wanted to do this career. And you realize that one thing is that there's not much career counseling done in high school. Most of this before I even started Good Kenyan, I used to work with a lot of young people, and they would be like, I wanted to become a lawyer, but I got a C plus and the cutoff was this marks, so I'm not going to become a lawyer. And it's almost like that dream is done. So first of all, we get people who are experts in these fields, and they come and talk to them about what else you can do. What really are your talents? So we look at we do for them personality tests. We get to talk with them. We get mentors who have done that. Especially if you tell us you want to be this career and you have a mentor that we get you a mentor that maybe has gone through the same route. This is someone who had to start from diploma before they do their degree. The long route. Someone else who wanted to be this. I'll give you an example. There's a young man who came to our program and he wanted to become a pilot. And why he wanted to become a pilot was just because he wanted to travel. So then what else can you do? So he didn't get the marks too, he didn't have the finances too. But his biggest need was to travel. So working with the career counselor and just talking to them, and also with their mentor and just interacting in the program, he realized that he just wanted to travel. And the reason he wanted to travel is because he's been confined in Kikuyu for a very long time. So he wanted to see the world. And now he through one of our partners and friends, he got sponsored to go and study photography. And now he's a photographer, and realized that now we partnered him with a mentor who realized that photographers can also travel. So sometimes what they want to do, they really don't know why they want to do it. And that's why there's that process. And there's just someone to hold your hand and just tell you it's okay and it's fine. And this grade that you got, this is how you can utilize this grade. You can take this long route to get to this grade. And sometimes people don't have that. Some parents, we have youth in our program who don't have parents. We have youth in our program who, parents are not there.
Not
Like
well off,
they're
course,
not
yeah.
there. Aside even being well off, they're just not there. They're not present in their homes.
Okay.
Then we have also people in the program who the parents are so focused in that 200 shillings a day that I don't have to hear about you want to be an artist.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true that. Now, Humphrey, the statistics in this country, 70% of youths actually are unemployed. And of course, we are seeing in this governmentary appointments of the old guys who've been there for quite some time. And this young man who is down here is wondering, how will I get to that position? Now, as much as you're involving the youth in terms of craft, hands-on activities, whereby of course you sell this, and then they get something. Now, how do you manage to now kind of be a destiny shaper in terms of, hey, you guy or young girl, a young man, that there's a future out here. You will get that position despite the difficulties. She's mentioned so many things. Underprivileged, middle class. There's so much challenges over there. And of course now, another thing, you're also dealing with people who are growing. It's so difficult. How do you manage to do that?
Yeah, I think for us, our first challenge in terms of the program was the youth. You can't keep them in one place without promise of what you're doing, because they lose focus and you start managing other issues around the program. For us, it was to make it as exciting and engaging as possible to keep their focus. When you come into the program, we're creating hope. So we're not telling you after that you'll get something, but we want you to believe in yourself and your abilities, so that when you go out, whether or not you got a D, or an A, when you go out, you're better. So somebody who's got an D, you might say, is a bit underprivileged in terms of opportunities that will come his way. But even if it takes a certain route in terms of the career guidance that you'll have, we are telling you that will take you somewhere. That will take you to the front of the line. So right now you might feel like you're at the back of the line, but certain things may just move you forward across the line. And for us, it's interesting because we've seen actual stories of people of kids who join our program, and you can see the transformation and them being better by the time they leave, and coming back to share stories of how now the time that we used to argue and debate about things on the program, we're like, oh, it made sense now, because it's young people growing, it's young people who really want to get to the top very quickly. But let's just say we guide them. We guide them. We don't tell them or promise them of a certain future, but we guide them and walk with them through a path that will discover the best form of themselves.
All right, we're now taking a short break, but when we come back after the break, we'll be now talking about what they're doing in the camp. Because as much as they spend, is it 4 weeks? Or maybe 4 months? Yeah, 4 months is a long time. So the procedure, the content, actually, these people are now taken through. And remember, they're an extent whereby now they're even given hands-on artistic activities. Now they sell, they get something back, of course, for their own pockets. All that coming to you after a short break. And also, Bwana Humphrey Kayanga will be telling us more about our rugby team as we're finishing this. All that coming to you in a few. Welcome back to Morning Live. In studio, I'm joined by Humphrey Kayanga and Lucy Chipchumba, who, of course, they're from good Kenyan, and they're doing an amazing work. And if you're joining us right now, trust me, if you have a youth who actually is actually from 4, very confused, listen to this conversation. You'll actually Dan says that you like to use the word actually. You will recommend him or her to this institution because they're doing a brilliant job. Now, coming back to the whole process of now mobilizing these people, you said the process is the interviews. After interviews, you now boil down or maybe just point out to the less privileged and middle class. Now, once they are in the institution, day one, what happens? Now, the sequence of the content they're taken through now.
Okay. Yeah. So what happens is the interview is in 2 parts. So the first interview is a written interview where we just get to know them. So we ask them a lot of written questions, they answer. Then they come for a face-to-face interview and also like a practical interview. So we just give you items and like make something out of this, just to provoke your thought process. And then the people who are successful are taken. Unfortunately, we're not able to take everyone who shows up at the interview because of funds and just the facilities and resources that we have. Once they come, the first week is just orientation. So the first day they come in, we invite them, we share our stories, we tell them why we did this, why they're here. And then we take them through a process of just them getting to know a lot of things that they expected. They actually set their own rules. So they set their own rules and then we hold them accountable to the rules that they've set. Amazing. So they set the timing rules and everything. And then we just sort of have all the trainers just come and give an overview of what they expect of them and what they're going to give. So day one is just week one is just for them to know. Then week two, PAP lesson starts. We've structured our classes in days. So Monday, they do have entrepreneurship class. So we partnered with an organization called Wild International at the beginning, and now we have outsourced trainers to do that. So they're taught in a case study of a business, like a real business. So they go through the process like they're forming a small micro business. So that's what they do on Monday, and there are 2 classes on Monday, and then after that they have now the assignments that they've been given. Then on Tuesday, they do what we call now kazi ya mkono. So we make paper. We use paper. We use recycled paper. So we do like, they used to do paper mache. We pulp it, put it together and everything. They make cards. So they make cards and handmade cards. They make bookmarks. They make desk products like from cards. Then on Wednesday, we do gift boxes. And we do storage boxes, all type of paper boxes that are harder. That's what that on Wednesday. Yeah. Then on Thursday they have life skills, and they have their computer classes. So they do life skills and computer classes on Thursday. Then on Friday they have computer classes again. So they do computer classes twice. They have their computer classes on Fridays, and then they have motivational talks. So another thing we do, we invite people, like Nick, you're invited to come and share your story. So we invite people to come and share the story, because sometimes they don't know the stories.
It's not easy.
It is really mind-boggling. You see them just learning, like this person came from here to here. So there's so many people that have come and shared their stories. And then what happens is, once we do mentorship once a month. So if it's the Friday that is for mentorship, you also do mentorship that Friday. So you skip the motivational talks, you do mentorship. Sometimes mentorship is on Saturday, because
no off day like you guys.
No, Saturday is not compulsory, but mentorship alone is done on, depending on the mentor. Because these mentors are professionals, they're giving their time for free. Sometimes during the week they're not able to mentor, so they do that on Saturday. So that's basically how the week goes. And then they also have once a month they have a community project. So each youth also has to choose a community project in where they stay, what they can do. They also choose a Saturday once in a month to do the community project.
Now, from Lucy's explanation, there's something very key: sustaining these people as far as now feeding is concerned, now just managing them, because now these young people eat, trust me, and you know that. These guys can consume.
We've seen how our bills have changed. Over the
how do you sustain?
I think for us, every year, to run the program, since we started, we have a fundraiser where we raise funds to help us through the year. Unfortunately, the first year as we started, we had to put in money, because the youth were there already. We started the program, the youth were there. They needed several things to go on. So we had to put money. Where we are situated, we need to pay for rent and other utilities around that should ensure the center is running. In terms of the monthly expenses, when we do our fundraiser, it's really nice, because it helps us. It lifts the load of our backs for a while we focus on other avenues to generate income for the program. But at the moment, I mean, where we get to a point where we have now to get back to ourselves and just see how much are we looking at, how much are we putting into the pot, which to ensure the program is running. But for us, the joy is the program is standing and still continuing. So we continue looking and sourcing for funds. But as you said, in terms of engaging them, food, on their breaks they have the Wi-Fi is there for them to get back. We don't. It's not like a prison, so we don't lock everything. So we'll when the lessons are on, the phones are off. When it's on lunchtime, you can go ahead and do your Instagrams, because it's young minds, engaging young minds, and not being there like a dictator or giving another high school sort of experience.
I get it. At least have your phones at a break.
So we try and make it very comfortable for them, and to learn in an environment that is not it's structured. I mean, Lucy spoke about an 8 Monday to Friday, 8 to 4 sort of situation. That's like you're working. We don't pay them. So we just, you come, we're offering you this. We have to ensure you're committed to the program. You have to observe time. So even if you go for a job interview tomorrow and they say our working times are 8 to 5, you've been through a process that has trained you in that way. So you'll be like, 8 to 5 is fine, because I used to do 8 to 4. So for us, it's more what we're giving them in terms of the skills and the experience. But what we get on return is the joy and fulfillment of seeing how they're growing. This other stuff we just manage.
And I forgot to mention we have 2 members of staff that you have to pay every day.
I was getting there now.
Yes.
Okay.
When you talk about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Friday, it means they're going through so much. On Tuesday, you mentioned it's hands-on, kind of making something crafty, artistic work over here. The people who are involved in this, you need mentors, you need motivational speakers, trainers. Now, how do you manage to get these guys? Is it volunteerism? Is it a matter of just coming? And of course, how do you manage to get it?
Okay, so what happens is, first we have 2 members of staff that are permanently based there. That is to help us run the program. Because one thing we do is that we have to do our personal jobs. We have to work on our personal jobs because that's what we do every day. So we have 2 members of staff that run the program. So we are there every day, almost every day. Then we have the trainers. Each day has a different trainer. So these trainers, we pay them. We pay them per day. So it's people we've worked with for a very long time, since the beginning. It's people we reached out. So beyond just the payment that they get, they're involved in this. They want to give. They want to give their time and everything. So what we are paying them is not really market rate. So we have a trainer. We have the entrepreneurship trainers. We have 2 of them that we pay. That's on Monday. On Tuesday we pay the lady who does the crafts. On Wednesday we pay the creative designer, and who is she's in charge of all our creative work and the outlook of everything and quality control. And then we have a life skill trainer. Initially when we started, we partnered with Tanari Trust. They used to give us their trainer, but now we have to get our own trainer and we pay for that. And then on Friday, and then with the computer trainer also we do pay. The motivational speakers is definitely pro bono. It's you coming, volunteering your story and sharing your time or teaching something, because we also have people who may not want to give the motivational speech, but they want to teach something. Like we have a friend of ours who has always come to teach them financial planning. So because
it's very important
financial planning, we have a lawyer friend who just comes and teach them the art of persuasion, negotiation, skills that you need in life. We have an etiquette person who has always come to teach them etiquette, again pro bono. So we also have like a set of topics that are done pro bono.
So you need more?
Yes, we do. Definitely. You're welcome. We need more. So the people we pay are the trainers and the members of staff. And now, as you said, the rent and utilities that we have to run the program. And as you said, maybe to internet, we've been very lucky. Friends and family have really come through for us. Beyond the event, which we do every April, we've had people who actually come in, bring their friends, and fundraise. And that has kept us, and we need more of that.
Next fundraiser maybe?
Yes, April 30th. Coming up,
that's
April
next
30th.
Month, 30th.
Yes, next month 30th at Prestige Plaza. We from 6 p.m. So it's an evening of come, have fun, enjoy yourself, reconnect. But remember, you're doing it for a good cause. You're doing it for something else. So you're paying 3,000 shillings per plate if you buy your ticket now, because that will go higher. And you're paying 3,000 shillings per plate. You'll have a meal. You'll have a soft drink, and then you'll also have to, you'll connect with people, talk to people, and we've already created a community. We already created a community of people, and then as I said, we have mentors. Mentors also, we don't pay their pro bono, and our mentors are like right now our list is going to 60. These are professionals from different fields. So it's also a time to connect and just meet other people who are like-minded. And at the end of the day, you're taking someone to school. You're helping someone.
The cohorts. Before we just wind this up, the cohorts. I understand of cohort 1, 2, 3. Are right now here? 4.
Yeah, we're on cohort 4 now.
Cohort 4.
So,
wow. So the experiences maybe. Have you had a situation where some people drop out? These are young people, kind of very vigorous in different areas. Maybe tell us the experience with the cohorts as you grew.
I think starting in 2017, cohort 1 was a really good cohort. We engaged 10 young people, and the program was a bit of a learning curve for both us and them, because we didn't know how it would go, but it went really well, really successful. All of them graduated, and we saw the improvement in some of them, where they joined and how they're behaving, and towards the end, and what change had happened. Cohort 2 and 3, we've had issues with either letting some guys go, because we feel at some point you don't continue to abide by what we are teaching. So we're like, okay, we're trying to help, but if you can't, then and that is life, we will let you go. That's the same way. If you're at work and you don't show up and your boss decides to fire you, that's the same thing. We're trying to instill that sense of commitment and discipline. We are on cohort 4 now, our biggest cohort
ever. I believe you've learned so much.
We've learned so much. I think from the start until now, we've learned so much. It never stops. And then you say when we say we're teaching them, we are learning ourselves as well. So it's not only us giving, because we don't know everything. You see, the list of the people around us are giving us so much. That means even us guys are growing and learning in the process. We have cohort 4. That's our biggest cohort ever. We have 16.
Wow.
We've never picked 16. We always picked 10. The first cohort we had 10. All of them finished. Second cohort 9 finished. One dropped out. We had to let one go. Cohort 3 was not our best, because we lost 3. I mean, we had to.
Are these in discipline issues or what?
Yeah, mostly. And you see, we're dealing with underprivileged kids. Sometimes I'm coming from unstructured backgrounds. If you're trying to instill something that even at home they've not been taught like that, then it's like, what are you telling me? At home I don't. Some of them just to disappear. Like on phone, you're calling them, they just disappear. Like, you're supposed to come. It's 2 days. Where are you? Like, like in life, that's not life. So but we're really looking forward to this cohort and see how it will go. We have some exciting young adults on the program.
So we are finalizing this part, of course. I just want to shift to the rugby part. You've been selected by the World Rugby to be part of the 2019 Rugby Awards panel. How did you take this?
I mean, for me, it's exciting. I've been in rugby for 13 years, and for World Rugby to reach out and say and ask me if I would want to sit on the sevens panel is exciting. I love sevens. I've played sevens a lot more in the last 13 years. So being part of the process of selecting the next, I mean, I watch sevens when most of the matches when they're out there. So being on the panel to select the sevens player of the year for this coming season is really exciting, and looking forward to the experience as well. The guys sitting on the panel are really top athletes in their different fields. So it will be interesting for us to sit down on the table and just come up with the player of the year.
Do you think the big boys will come back and help these young lads who are also doing not so bad?
Yeah, I think the conversation is around the big boys coming back. So the team departs this weekend, I think. So you'll see some of them coming in. So it's a process. But it's good that they're now talking. Negotiation and agreement is
the new office coming. The new office coming.
That will work as well, because we need to move. See, we can't keep on talking about what has happened, what didn't happen. Now we need to move. Rugby continues being played, whether or not we are agreeing or disagreeing. So we just need to decide. So we are there.
Lucy, can you imagine you have to eat rugby at some point with this guy.
We've been friends for those 13 years, so
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
seen him
That's
train,
amazing.
yeah.
I was actually having a conversation with Kolo this morning. He was asking me so many things about you coming, and of course, now as you're winding this up, because you're out of time, just tell us maybe how do guys apply? Of course, yes, coming from the interview, the process before you wind up.
Or the people applying,
Yes,
yeah. So I'd like to talk about that and also talk about how people can plug in.
Yes, yes.
And how you can find so that I can say take it a lot more.
Sure.
So how they apply is that you just come to a center, or you send to info@goodkenyan.co.ke. You send an email to info@goodkenyan.co.ke.
Okay.
We also understand not everyone can do that at that stage. So you come into a center, and there's a form that you fill. So you fill that form, and then we stay with that form, we do our due diligence, and then we get back to you.
Okay.
So we also always send out information about it when we are time. Like now, the next recruitment is in May, so we'll send out information from April.
Okay.
Finally, you can plug in. Every Kenyan can plug in. You can plug in as a mentor.
Okay.
You can plug in as a volunteer and donate your talent.
Okay.
You can attend our events,
Okay.
and finally, you know, you can link us or network us with funding organizations,
Okay.
and also you can donate to our event.
Thank you very
Let's
much.
change lives together.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Humphrey
Thank you.
and Lucy, for coming. Good job
very
you're
much.
doing, and wishing you all the best.
Thank
I'll be
you.
coming to you guys soon.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
The
for
story, it's a very
We
funny one.
appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing
Thank you so
there.
much.
Thank
We're taking
you.
a short break now. When you come back, Bwana David Ohenga will be telling us more about writing a will. Many people don't really do that, but stay tuned for more of that.